Hello everyone, a very logical day to all of you, and here we are with the explanation of the first editorial of the 6th of September. So, of the Indian Express we are taking, let's see what we have in the reading part. That is a Teacher's Day. Yes, yesterday was a Teacher's Day, and so very happy Teacher's Day to all of you. But then why is the author mentioning this Teacher's Day now on the 6th of September? So he has something specific in the reading. Let's see what we have in the article. About 2 years ago, when schools and colleges began to reopen after the COVID enforced shutdown, reports and surveys underlined that the country was staring at a learning crisis. It was staring at a learning crisis. It was evident that digital teaching had been a poor substitute for the physical classroom. That means what? A poor substitute for the physical classroom. That means whatever benefits the physical classroom had were not the same in the online classes. So educators and teachers pointed out that addressing learning gaps, an area of concern even before the pandemic, would require a radical reimagination of the classroom. A radical reimagination of the classroom would mean कि हमें बहुत कुछ सोचना पड़ेगा. There would be a lot of deliberation required there to come up with what exactly the classroom should be. This called for, that means what was required, what it necessitated, was removing the myriad hurdles, multiple hurdles, obstructions, impediments, social, cultural, administrative, bureaucratic, that have for long limited teachers' capacity to nurture talent. In a very significant way, however, the country was well placed to turn crisis into opportunity. ठीक है, कंट्री आराम से कर सकती थी, क्राइसिस को अपॉर्चुनिटी में बदल सकती थी. Let us see what it did. So the new national education policy announced about 3 years ago in July 2020 had proposed a range of measures to make learning more experiential, holistic, discovery oriented and enjoyable. The policy affirmed the pivotal role of the teachers in driving reforms and recommended measures to upskill the educators in a rapidly changing world. Upskill the educators का मतलब होता है कि अगर rapidly changing world है तो फिर एजुकेटर्स को भी अपग्रेड करना चाहिए, अपस्किल करना चाहिए, राइट? So, where students are exposed to increasing and diverse sources of information outside formal learning avenues, and what are the students? They have their what? YouTube videos, for instance, and this is something that you all know. ठीक है, तो सिर्फ एक इंस्ट्रूमेंट या एक जरिया नहीं है कि एजुकेशन कहाँ होगी, सिर्फ स्कूल में नहीं. आजकल तो यूट्यूब पे है, बाकी सारे मीडियाज़ हैं, वहाँ पे बहुत कुछ लोग दे भी देते हैं और बहुत कुछ लोग पढ़ भी लेते हैं, राइट? एंड इन दैट केस whoever has whatever knowledge just wants to put it through. ठीक है, so the students, this is what the author is saying and he is actually worried about it. ठीक है, वो वरी, वो कंसर्न दिखना चाहिए तुम्हें कि उसने क्या कहा कि जो टीचर्स हैं उन्हें भी अपग्रेड हो जाना चाहिए, उन्हें भी अपस्किल हो जाना चाहिए अगर वो वाकई में दे नीड टू नर्चर द टैलेंट्स ऑफ द स्टूडेंट्स, राइट? एंड दैट इज अ पर्सन, अ टीचर हु इज एट हार्ट अ टीचर, राइट? ऐसे बस कोई भी नहीं. The person who at heart is a teacher and he is really worried about the student's future will definitely help the student in nurturing his talents, right? But then the author says that because the students are exposed to so many other things, then what does the teacher do? It has to upgrade itself, it has to upskill itself, right? So NEP came into effect last year. Sorry. here. NEP came into effect last year. A year is too short a period to assess any policy. सिर्फ एक साल हुआ है मुझे NEP को, तो you can't come up with a judgment, you can't criticize it also, right? So do not assess it. Yet, the day after another Teachers' Day, educational administrators must pause and reflect. So it is not required to criticize it or not required to assess it. But yes, these educators who have come up with that NEP policy need to definitely take a pause and reflect upon it. Socho, have they appreciated the policy's vision in adequate measure? तो जो उस पॉलिसी ने सोचा था, क्या वहाँ तक हम पहुँच पाए? तो assumption ये possible हम नहीं पहुँचे हों. Have the recent curriculum changes in school and college curricula been true to the NEP's aim of developing critical minds? So developing critical minds means pushing the students into thinking logically, thinking critically and analytically. ऐसे दिमाग हमें develop करने हैं. सिर्फ verbatim या word to word हमें समझना नहीं है. We need to understand the implied meanings as well as the inferred things. So, have the recent curriculum changes in school and college curricula been true to the NEP's aim of developing critical minds, or does the institutional autonomy promised by it still appear distant? Institutional autonomy होगा जो उसने promise किया था NEP ने, पर क्या अभी होगा in the near future, or is it in the distant future? Right, that means quite far. So today more than ever before, diverse sections of people see education as a means to social mobility. This is attested by the increase in the enrollment figures across the educational levels in the past 10 years, and this welcome development places responsibilities on agents across the educational spectrum: the policymaker, the administrator and the pedagogy. A first or second generation learner, possibly from a Dalit or minority community, should have no reason for trepidation. Trepidation means fear. In the country's classrooms, campuses, laboratories, dormitories and playgrounds. But a variety of disquieting incidents are proof that institutions and those who run them have not given adequate importance to this imperative. Imperative is something that is necessary to do, right? और necessary क्या है कि अगर दलित और minority group का कोई आ जाता है किसी position पे, so he doesn't feel left out. He should be he should be feeling inclusive, actually, right? So, more than 120 suicide deaths in India's higher education institutions between 2014 and 2021, including 68 students from reserved categories, speak of the unbearable stresses of the education system. And these figures do not include those who take their lives unable to take the pressures of the coaching institutes that train students for engineering and medical courses, including at Kota in Rajasthan, where suicide deaths this year are at an 8-year high. Mindsets must be changed. यहाँ से आ गई author की point. If top-down approaches to teaching have to give way to engaged and non-hierarchical learning relationships. In today's social media age, insulating classrooms from prejudices and insecurities is not always an easy task. मतलब वो difficult है. Yet, the critical role of these spaces in shaping the future means that the brutish behavior displayed by teachers recently in Muzaffarnagar and Kathua called for introspection. सोचने पे मजबूर करता है ये. Another Teachers' Day should not go by with these questions remaining unanswered. मतलब ये questions पे सोचना चाहिए, विचारना चाहिए. They need to understand, they need to reflect, and then they need to come up with the answers also. It should not go unanswered. So something positive should be shown from all this, right? So next, the classroom must be a space that is open and protected from pressure and prejudice. उसे कहा था open है जहाँ पे कोई minority या दलित community का भी कोई pressure ना face करे, और no fear he should be feeling. So coming to the questions, though it was a simple one, but I've still given you 3 questions here. So conclusion you will derive from the first paragraph and from the second one also, and then the third you come up with something new, something that is an inference. इन्फ्रेंस नहीं आता है तो एटलीस्ट आप कंक्लूजन जैसे तो कर ही लेना उसे, ठीक है. सो नॉट वेरी डिफिकल्ट. लेट्स सी द टोन एंड स्टाइल दैट वी हैव टुडे. टोन देखें कौन सी है. कंटेम्पचुअस. कंटेम्पचुअस इज डिस्टेस्ट. अब डिस्टेस्ट का मतलब होता है टेस्टलेस. टेस्टलेस तो इंसिपिड हो जाता है, ब्लैंड, कुछ भी नहीं, मोनोटोनस. तो ये डिस्टेस्ट है, मतलब यू आर लाइक स्पाइटफुल और स्कॉर्नफुल, और यू वुड बी लिटलिंग और ह्यूमिलिएटिंग और मॉकिंग अदर्स. वो होता है फुल ऑफ कंटेम्प्ट. ठीक है. देखो, suppose you're working on a project and you were late in arriving to that particular meeting point, half an hour late, right? You went there and जो एक self appointed project leader था, suppose तुम लोग 4-5 लोगों को एक ही project पे, and then like he started saying, or rather you were apologetic. हमने कल apologetic देखा था ना. So you were apologetic. Oh, I'm so sorry. No, I was stuck in a traffic jam. I could not reach on time, but I did not have time to write the review or a few points on this project, which I would like to give now. So that self-appointed leader would say, "Do you think I really care about your views?" बस ऐसा मुंह करके बैठ के देखिएगा. डू यू थिंक आई रियली केयर? मतलब कि तुम्हारे जितने भी हैं व्यूज़, उससे मुझे क्या लेना था. तुम लेट आए, ठीक है, जब डिस्कशन में होते तो ठीक होते. मतलब आई एम नॉट इवन बॉदर्ड अबाउट टेकिंग व्यूज़ फ्रॉम यू ऑन द प्रोजेक्ट. व्हाई शुड आई? सो डू यू थिंक आई रियली केयर? तुम्हें क्या लगता है मैं तुम्हारे व्यूज़ वाकई में इनकॉर्पोरेट करूँगा इस प्रोजेक्ट में? ऐसा जब थॉट आता है ना, तो वो जिस तरीके से बोलता है वो तुम्हारी इंसल्ट कर रहा है, ह्यूमिलिएशन, बिलिटलिंग, ठीक है. या अदर्स वुड स्टार्ट लाफिंग एंड दैट वुड बी रिडिक्यूलिंग, मेकिंग फन ऑफ अदर्स. तो दिस इज लाइक फुल ऑफ कंटेम्प्ट. तो डू यू थिंक योर ओपिनियन मैटर्स टू मी? ठीक है, रियली मैटर्स? रियली? इज दैट सो? बड़ा अच्छा, मतलब हाई होप्स कि तुम्हें लगता है कि मैं तुम्हारे लिए रुकूंगा. जब ऐसी बातें आ जाती तो दैट इज लाइक, ऐसे कोई नेगेटिव वर्ड नहीं है, बस बोलने का तरीका आ जाता है उसमें, तो कंटेम्प्ट दिखता है या ह्यूमिलिएशन दिखता है. नाउ डिड यू इवन लुक एट योर वर्क? इट्स डिस्गस्टिंग. मतलब देखा भी है तुमने प्रोजेक्ट क्या बनाया है? डिस्गस्टिंग. तो ऐसे कुछ थॉट्स जब ऑथर लिखेगा तो ही वुड बी यूजिंग अ कंटेम्पचुअस टोन. ही डजंट लाइक what the others have done. He doesn't like where he has to stay. वो भी नहीं पसंद है, तो वो किसी और को उसका मतलब ब्लेम कर देता है. and then he is making fun of others, and the way he makes fun of others is like ridiculing that person, and hence it becomes contemptuous, right? So I hope you have understood this, and thank you. That's all for today, and stay logical always.